Hey guys, I got an awesome lock here that I bought from Duction. Just a beautiful union. I don't know if it's the most secure lock that I have, but it's definitely the shiniest one. Here's what the bitting looks like. So we got quite a challenge on this thing at least. And it's got a pretty open keyway. Shouldn't be too difficult to get up inside of there, doesn't look like. I'll be able to use top of the keyway tension. And by the way, this is a model, it's a Union model, and you can read it there. It's a 50mm 6-pinner, brass, and I guess it's chrome covered. Just a beautiful, beautiful lock. Got some set screws, I have no idea what those are for, but we will figure it out. Okay, well, made in England. Let's see if we can get this thing SPP'd. Let me find the vise and we'll get this thing clamped up and get it picked. Alright, got him clamped up real good in the vise. Again, here's what the key looks like. Pretty challenging. Let's see if it works. And it does. And it's locked up nice and tight now. Let's see if we can't pick this thing open and perhaps even gut it if we have time. I'm going to put light tension, slide my pick all the way to the rear. I'm going to use a 15,000th because I've noticed this keyway has a real sharp bend in it. Even though it's wide, I can't get a normal pick around that bend, so I'm going to have to use this nice thin one. Light tension, fine pin 6, and then put a little more tension, and now I'm going to start moving down the stack, basically looking for a binder. I felt pin 6 click, but I don't know, nothing turned, I didn't get any give in the keyway or anything, so probably not a fault set. Let's try it again. Again, I got the same click, but I got nothing yielding. No feedback, so I'll just keep going down the stack looking for feedback of any kind, or looking for a binder, which would indicate that we have a standard pin somewhere. Okay, I think I got a little bit of feedback. It feels like pin 5. See if we can't do something with this. Get on him. Had a little click out of it. Okay, I got a good fault set going now. Go all the way to the rear, start looking, so make sure everybody's in their seats. I'm on pin, feels like 4. Let me double check before we start randomly shoving stuff, which I'm prone to do. Okay, I'm on pin 2. I got good feedback from 2. Feels like he's set, but I think we lost our fault set, or at least part of it. Let's go back and check everything. And there we got an open, which was kind of a surprise, leading me to believe that there's at least 2, perhaps as many as 3 standard pins in here, because I think I only felt feedback from 3 of those pins. Let's go ahead and open it up. And again, this doesn't have a screw inside of there, but when I looked at this on YouTube, let me turn this down just a little bit, I watched a guy do it, so I got all my tools kind of halfway laid out here. First thing we need to do is loosen this screw, and when we loosen it, we don't have to completely remove it. At some point, we'll loosen it enough, there, the shackle will come out. So we don't need that. And just leave the screw in place, and that way I won't lose it. And then the ball bearing comes out. We don't need that. And then I know it's going to be difficult for you to see, but if you look deeply inside of there, let's see if I can get the flashlight to shine. I think you can see a screw down there with a hex head. And that hex head is a 5/32. And once you remove that little jewel, all the guts fall out. And so we don't need this anymore. Throw that up there. We won't need that. Let's keep that core in the shot here, because I want to show you a couple of things about these cores that make kind of a unique design. First of all, the tailpiece is all solid steel, or it appears solid steel, very well locked up, very thick interlock block there. And the nice thing about this, you'll notice there's a hole in the tailpiece. It makes it impossible to assemble it the wrong way. So that's a really good design. I can't tell you how many locks I've screwed up by putting them together backwards and then got to disassemble them again later. Then there are two screws holding the tailpiece on there. I'm going to move my camera down and zoom out so you can keep an eye on what I'm doing here. Alright, first we got to take those two little screws out, and take some Phillips. And again, this little tailpiece, by design, can only be put on there one way, which again I think is a fantastic design feature. If you take a look at that little tailpiece, it has a little arm that extends into this little cutout. So there's about 1/4 of a turn. That piece of the tailpiece acts as a limiter to prevent you from overturning or reverse turning this this core. So really neat little design. Okay, let's get everything out of the way here. I'm going to use a medium follower, and let's see if we are still unlocked. And I'm just going to put that, orient it vertically to stop the drivers from coming out, and just slide that core right out. Let's take a look at these. Let me dump these pins, and then we're going to take a look at the core itself. These are all standard pins, by the way, just as we thought. The nice thing about this core, if you look closely, first of all we have two pins, one on either side to prevent you from drilling it out. And then I don't know if you can quite catch it on the light here, or the detail, if you can see it on the camera. Every single one of these cores is counterbored or counter-milled, and they're not all exactly the same depth, which is, again, my opinion, is a great design feature, because it you don't want them all drilled the same, because it'll give the same feel. Okay, that's enough on the core. Let's take a look at the Bible and start pulling out pieces, shall we? Alright, the first pin is a standard steel pin to prevent drilling. And we got a, looks like a spool. Okay, we got another spool. A third spool. Looks like another steel pin in pin position 5 and position 6. The last one is a spool. So we only had two standard pins in there, but that's exactly what you'd want to see on a well-designed block. If you only have one standard pin, then as soon as you set the standard one, immediately you got a fault set, and it's easy to pick. But by tricking us and putting in two standard pins, you got to find them and pick both of those before you're going to start getting those fault sets that we can then manipulate. So the odds are against you when they have more than one standard pin. Anyway, I thought that was a lot of fun. Great lock, nice heavy duty. I'm probably going to keep this one, so don't bother asking me for it. I'm going to keep it. Great lock. Hey everybody, Duction, thank you very much for the lock. Everybody else, stay safe, and for goodness sake, stay legal.